All praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, HaKadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, chiefly of Great Millstone, but all those who rule well, teaching sensible doctrine like non-colorism, the truth that Yahweh Shai and most of the proponents in the Bible were of Negroid appearance. The mark of the beast, being spiritual rather than carnal, and the correct interpretation of the scriptures, understanding the Sabbath is dictated by the new moon and things such as the new moon not being the full moon. So, Esau having his skirts, in particular Amalek. Now, in the Bible, it says Esau will have his skirts discovered, but Amalek is getting his Amalek has got his nuts out right now. So I said to earlier on that I follow a certain number of Russian channels. Basically, when the Ukraine stuff popped off, I used to keep an eye on it. You know, it was my thing. I thought that was where Armageddon was going to come from. But I mean, now, whilst I now understand there's more to do with the Valley of Jehoshaphat, that's where it's really going to pop off. But this is still relevant. So talking about the Jays, basically they're saying that the Jays say that that you inherit being a Jay through maternal lineage, and that in order the only like we know that the Y chromosome is passed from male to male to male to male. The chromosomes are, but the females, they don't really have something. They're every time a new female is produced, their set of chromosomes is recombined with the father's X chromosome and the mother's X chromosome. So they don't really have a very strong way of looking back through matrilineal, I can't even say it, lineage. However, you can look at mitochondrial DNA, which are the tiny little bits that are floating around inside the cell that I don't really fully understand. But anyway, what they're saying here is that when they analyze the mitochondrial DNA too, because Amalek claims that, you know, that it's a matrilineal lineage, that how it is to be a J. You know, you have to go through to the mother's line in order to understand how it is to be a J. And they said that they did a recent a recent sort of like DNA survey in Israel to find out where the matrilineal lineage, and they based it down to 20 founding females. But when they looked at the females, they came from sub-Saharan Africa to India to Antilonia. And it says here, neither Sarah nor Rebecca had daughters. So if Sarah and Rebecca didn't have daughters, that's something that, you know, like when you see it the first time you see it. And Sarah and Rebecca didn't have daughters. Exactly how exactly are you an Israelite? Where does your lineage come from? If you're claiming matrilineal lineage and Sarah and Rebecca didn't have daughters, what? Anyway, carrying on. Joseph married an Egyptian. Judah had children by Canaanites. And even the prophet and lawgiver Moses was recorded as having married a daughter of a Midianite, a black woman. So now we got Magog, Gog and Magog spitting out the truth, lifting the skirt, because, you know, it's all good to keep it like the controversial things hidden when you're getting paid and nobody's coming up against you and everybody getting a piece of the pie. But right now, they's pissed, so like everybody's spouting the truth. At any rate, the Temple of Solomon was rebuilt, and eventually the non-royal, non-high priestly Hasmonean family created a short-lived kingdom. I haven't read this bit yet. They were great believers and forced conversion to Judaism. I think that's John Hyrcanus, right? The heiress of the Hasmoneans became the chief wife of the political client, King Herod the Great. His father was an Idumean and a Jewish convert. His mother an Arab. Herod completely rebuilt the second temple on the grander scale than before. This temple built by Herod was completely demolished by the Romans, but the Temple Mount has been venerated and fought over by Christians and Crusaders, Arabs, Turks, British invaders, and Jews of dubious ancestry ever since. To reiterate, there are rather many Jewish founding mothers coming from many different areas of the world. Statistically, this means that there must now be many more with a right to consider themselves Jews by birth who do not identify as Jews than there were those who do. So basically, they're saying there's a whole heap of people, like black people involved, that should claim Jewish heritage because Moses married a Midianite, a black woman. So if you're going to go by the Judaism factor, whether you're a Jew or not, then most people can, because there's a whole mix of but of matrilineal lineage. Now we don't really follow matrilineal lineage, but we're just following their argument, and their argument just leads to confusion, And it says in the Bible, "I'm not the author of confusion." I'll get that scripture, and then I'm going to close out. The Lord is not the author of confusion. I think it's Corinthians, but I might be wrong. I kind of was one of the... Let's get that. Corinthians 14 and 33. Yeah, I did think it was Corinthians 14, but I didn't want to say. For the Lord is not the author of confusion, but of peace. You see? That's in all the churches of the saints. So where there's peace, there's the Lord. So if you see peace, you see a whole bunch of people and they just chill, they're getting on, they're making progress, they're having fruit, they're happy, things are just, and they're abundant, then you know the Lord is there. You see a bunch of people confused, the stuff that they say don't make sense. They say up is down, man is a woman, a cat is a dog, a tree is a house. The Lord ain't there. Right, that's really simple. All right, shalom.